Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So your Bhagavatam study is going on nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Keep it. Keep it so down. Too far. Audio is fitted.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Is the new stand or old stand? Laptop. So. Hare Rama Jama Doma Jamika Kopijana Valama This one is how it should be. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. So, Canto 3rd, Prabhupada? Third Canto? Oh. So this is very interesting. I think everybody knows about this, but we know quite externally without actually reading what the scripture says. What we heard from TV, from friends, from newspaper, magazines, some picture we have, but not exactly scripture says. Very famous instance, Jaya Vijaya Course. Brahmovaca iti tat granatam tesham muninam yoga dharminam pratinandya jagadhedam vikunta nilaya vibhu. दत्तो ये लगा दो, इसके कंप्यूटर से क्यों नहीं लगता पता, तो पावर लगाओ कंप्यूटर में और पावर कनेक्शन लगाओ, क्या पावर? Yes, and the connection wire over there. Veni. Brahmovaca iti tat granatam tesham muninam yoga dharminam pratinandya jagadesham pratinandya jagadedam vikunta nilayo vibhu. Brahmovaca iti tat granatam tesham muninam yoga dharminam. छोड़ो छोड़ो दत्तो छोड़ो pratinandya jagadedam vikunta nilayo vibhu. Brahmovaca iti tatkranataam tesham muninam yoga dharminam pratinandya jaganidam vikunta nilayo vipuhu.
brahmovaca iti tatpranadam tesham
Brahmovaca, Lord Brahma said, iti, thus, tat, speech, granata, praising, desha, of them, munina, those four sages, yoga dharmina, engage in linking with the Supreme, prati nandya, after congratulating, tagada, said, idam, those words, vikunta nilayaha, whose abode is bereft of anxiety, vibhuhu, the Supreme Personality of God. The Lord Brahma said, after this, congratulating the sages for their nice word, the Supreme Personality of God, abode in the kingdom of God, spoke as follows. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Itau Tau Pashatau Mahayam Jayo Vijayo Evacha Kadarti Krataya Mam Yadvo Bahava Akrata Atikramam. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality Godhead said, Eto, these two, Tau, they, Parshadau, attendants, Mahyam, of mine, Jayaha, named Jaya, Vijayaha, named Vijaya, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Kadarti Krataya, by ignoring, Mam, may, Yat, which, Vaha, against you, Bahu, great, Akratam, have committed, Atikramam, offense. The Personality Godhead said, these attendants of mine, Jaya and Vijaya, by name, have committed a great offense against you because of ignoring me. Yes, Supreme.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To commit an offense at the feet of a devotee of the Lord is a great wrong. Even when a living entity is promoted to Vaikuntha, there is still the chance that he may commit offenses. But the difference is that when one is in a Vaikuntha planet, even if by chance one commits an offense, he is protected by the Lord. This is the remarkable fact in the dealings of the Lord and the Sarveta, as in the present incident concerning Jaya and Vijaya. The word Atikramam used herein indicates that in an offending devotee, one neglects the Supreme Lord himself. By mistake, the doorman held the sages from entering Vaikuntha Loka, but because they were engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, their annihilation was not expected by advanced devotees. The Lord's presence on the spot was very pleasing to the hearts of the devotees. The Lord understood that the trouble was due to his lotus feet not being seen by the sages, and therefore he wanted to please them by personally going there. The Lord is so merciful that even if there is some impediment for the devotee, he himself manages matters in such a way that the devotee is not bereft of having audience at his lotus feet. There is a very good example in the life of Haridasa Thakura. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing at Jagannatha Puri, Haridasa Thakura, who happened to be Mohammedan by birth, was with him. In Hindu's temple, especially in those days, no one but a Hindu was allowed to enter. Although Haridasa Thakura was the greatest of all Hindus in his behavior, he considered himself a Muhammadan and did not enter the temple. Lord Chaitanya could understand his humility, and since he did not go to see the temple, Lord Chaitanya himself, who is non-different from Jagannatha, used to come and sit with the Haridasa Thakura daily. Here in Shrimad Bhagavatam, we also find the same behavior of the Lord. His devotees were prevented from seeing his lotus feet, but the Lord himself came to see them on the same lotus feet for which they aspired. It is also significant that he was accompanied by the goddess of fortune. The goddess of fortune is not to be seen by ordinary persons, but the Lord was so kind that although the devotees did not aspire for such an honor, he appeared before them with the goddess of fortune.
Om
Hare
Jnanandasya, thank you, Mataji. Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pasha Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Eto To Pashado Mahayam Jayo Vijaya Evacha Tadati Kritaya Maham Yadvo Bahu Akratam Atikramam. Personally, God had said, these attendants of mine, Jaya and Vijaya by name, have committed a great offense against you because of ignoring me. So what are the incidents? We have the four Kumaras. They heard from their father about Vaikuntha. They were realized in one aspect, that is, we are not body, spirit, soul. The great sages. And they developed a curiosity that can we see Narayana? And with extraordinary power, they could travel to Vaikuntha. And they are at the gate. Actually, they have not entered Vaikuntha, they are at the gate. Otherwise, Yadgatva Nani Vartante. Once somebody enters Vaikuntha, it doesn't come back. So they are at the gate. And when they are at the gate, something very interesting happens, is that the gate number 1, gate number 2, gate number 3, gate number 4, gate number 5, gate number 6, they could just pass through. But gate number 7, when they reached, somebody stopped them. Jaya and Vijaya. So first thing is that the Lord doesn't need any protectors, but it's service. Nobody should interrupt the Lord in his pastimes. They are there to serve the Lord. When Krishna was going from Hastinapur to Dwarka, Yudhishthira Maharaj sends a huge army to protect him. Now he accepted. He doesn't need any protection. He's Narayan. But still, devotees affectionately want to be in service to the Lord. And it's a great pleasure to be a servant of the Lord. Because servant of the Lord is not the way the servant is there in this world. In this world, nobody likes to be the servant. But actually, there's a great pleasure, service. And we see that it's like mother serves a child. So much she has to do. The child will pass urines too. She's cleaning, she's bathing him, she's feeding him. Service. But a normal office we do service. When there's the 5 o'clock, we look, the time is over, we want to run away. That's also service. But there is service which is done with love, and service which is actually love. Material word, there is no pure love. But still, in one there is some kind of affection, and in the other, generally there is no affection. In office, just done, no gratitude. This fellow is paying me some money. No affection, being part of the project. So we are just there. Our heart is not there. But that with the child and the mother is dealing, there is better. You cannot compare to spiritual. Those are immature in spiritual life. They think that material emotions are as good as spiritual emotions. It's not correct, and we should not have such views, then we will not progress spiritually. So spiritual emotions are separate, material emotions are separate. So, but we see, at least in the metal world, we get something to correspond to. We cannot see Krishna. So we compare Krishna to lotus flower, lotus hand, which we see in the metal world. What we see, we compare to something which we do not see. So to get an idea. So we cannot see Krishna's beautiful hands. We say lotus hands, because lotus is very soft, very beautiful. So Krishna's hands are also like that. Similarly, in the spiritual world, we cannot see spiritual emotions. So we say, compared to the mother's love for the child, which in material world is purer than other loves. But still, it is not spiritual, it's material, it's mundane. Now, the Lord's affection for the devotees is intensely spiritual. Therefore, Prabhupada also always says, transcendental, loving, pure, devotional service. So many adjectives. Because it is transcendental. Our affection to the Lord is not material. It looks material. Sometimes people do not understand. It's not material. Transcendental, loving, pure, transcendental, loving devotion service. It's pure, totally untinged by any kind of material desires. In the material world, anything we do, there is some adan pradan, something you want in return. But the service to the Lord is done in a different platform. I was just thinking something very interesting, very small thing here. You see, there is a small offense, they have not beaten the 4 Kumaras. They have not even shouted at them. They just said, you cannot enter. And for the small offense, overall lesson, internally some drama is going on. They had to leave Vaikuntha. So that means conversely, audience, I just check. My voice is clear, I just check, then I. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
My voice
Yes,
is
Prabhuji.
clear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Can improve it
Hare
more, but you're satisfied, that's okay. Okay, you are able to hear. Now just think about this. I think all of you are able to get what I'm trying to say. You're all intelligent people. See, the smallest of disturbance in relationships where something was spoken unpleasant, and that's all that happened. No, they didn't take their sticks and beat them. That didn't happen. They're not shouted at them. Neither they have shouted. And it is being taken so seriously. Just think about an outside perspective before you go into the detail of what has happened. Vaikuntha means there is not even a single offense there. Not even a single offense can be allowed. Not allowed. Why don't you make? You're also living in a house, all of you, or some of you are heads of a community, heads of a company, heads of whatever. Why don't we make an atmosphere like that with not a single offense? How beautiful it is. And not allowed. Somebody does a simple politics, something, please, like Jay Vijay, get out of this place. Don't disturb. It should not offense. Then people can live so peacefully. Then it's a home. Just imagine. You come to some place and one person is looking at you with another strange eyes, another with another strange eyes. He has something in his mind. Behind the back is making fun of you. He doesn't like you. He hates you. He criticizes you. Always puts you down. Does politics against you. Now, is that a place to stay? You cannot stay in that place. It's not a home. True. That is why. That is the reason people travel thousands of miles. I'm going to my home. What is it? What's the home basically? There's somebody who wishes well for you. That's a home. So we should also, because even to practice spiritual life, we should see that it's not one-sided. See, any relationships, any affection cannot be one-sided. It has to be two-sided. Not that I expect everybody to be fine with me, but I'm not nice. That doesn't work out. You get what you give. This famous statement. So why not have an atmosphere like Vaikuntha? Peaceful, no politics. And that is not possible in the material world, and very much possible in the spiritual world. What is the reason? In the spiritual world, the atmosphere exists without any kind of difficulty. So smooth, so sweet. And in the material world, the atmosphere is not at all to that standard. Isn't it? You can think about this. We practically, if you go to the courts today, half the cases in India are within the family fighting for property. That means definitely there is no Vaikuntha atmosphere within the family. This is talking about so-called home. Brothers and sisters fight for property. So the reason is, if you think deeply about it, in a material world, all the transactions are, there is no center for satisfaction of a transaction. Just like all of us in a temple. A temple is meant to be a glimpse of the spiritual world. It should be like that. It's not that just because it's a temple, it becomes a glimpse. It should be like that. Where the focus is satisfaction of Krishna. But because the focus is satisfaction of Krishna, the different people are cooperating for that. And in the spiritual and in the material world, each person is focuses his own satisfaction. Each person focuses his own satisfaction. Just like Pandavas, you look at them, some people who are unfortunate victims of rubbish TV serials. They don't understand why the Pandavas are so holy. Because they're center of satisfaction of Krishna. They fought because Krishna wanted them to fight. Whatever they did, it was for Krishna's pleasure. That's all. Their lives, Prabhupada said, the Pandavas, by all good luck, were totally malleable servants of the Lord. They had nothing else in life to do than enjoy service to Krishna, to serve Krishna. Not enjoy service. There's nothing in their life than to serve Krishna, to please Him, to serve Him. There's nothing else in their life. Therefore, they are called great. They are called holy. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhakto asime sakacheti. Arjuna, you're so dear to me because he sacrificed everything for Krishna's pleasure. All this. It's become so dear. But you look at the Kauravas, all of them, including their hero of the modern day, unfortunate victims of TV serials, Karna. All of them are just looking at their own satisfaction. I want to be a great hero like Arjuna. Idiot. It's your own selfish, crooked, material satisfaction. That's all you want in your life. Why they don't recognize me as a warrior like Arjuna? What are you looking for? Your own satisfaction. Arjuna never desired, I want to be the greatest warrior. No, he just wanted to serve Krishna. That's all. He became the okay. Krishna willing, he's the greatest warrior. Krishna not willing, he's not. That's not his issue. That is not his focus. Similarly, Bhima, all of them, their focus is to be malleable. This because these are all spiritual emotions. This cannot be understood by Sahas Bahu serial people. So there is no idea that they're living a spiritual domain. And the people who drink, smoke, womanize, and people who make such serials, they have no access to the spiritual domain. They just don't know the spiritual emotions. And when, therefore, Vaishnava Kriya Mudra are very difficult to understand for a common man. Because Vaishnava Kriya Mudra are not to be even analyzed by a common man. Just like Lord activities and pastime should not be, because Lord is on a spiritual domain. And you are bringing him to a material domain and trying to analyze his pastime. You'll make a mistake. Just like Krishna Rasa Leela is not discussed with the common people because they only know material emotion. Or they will put it on the same domain. They have no idea, no access. So now, what we are seeing here is Jaya Vijaya and the interaction. This is spiritual domain. So sweet in the spiritual world. So sweet. There is only one thing in the spiritual world: love and gratitude. There is no other transaction. Why is it Jaya Vijaya serving the Lord out of love? What the Lord Narayana has for them? Love, gratitude. That's it. That's all exists in the spiritual world. There is no other equation. There is no other relation. There is no other reason for whatever service they're doing. It's only love and gratitude. Therefore, a temple should also exist on that platform, a platform of love and gratitude. No other equation. But the material world exists on this platform of some kind of a transaction. What is in it for me? Everybody is feeling, what is in it for me? Just like in the Western world, very common nowadays, even in India, marriages just break. 30 years old marriage, 40-year-old marriages break. Why? I'm not happy. You married for that? It's not, I'm not feeling satisfied. No, the focus is on the details. The focus is on the Lord. And the more advanced a person is, he looks for satisfaction beyond himself. All of us are looking for satisfaction within ourselves. I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with it. Can I shift my focus to the Lord's satisfaction? That is actually a challenge to be accomplished. So we have to shift it. Now coming exactly now internally the details as will be revealed after some time in this chapter. Actually, it was Krishna's will what is happening. It is Krishna who agitated Jaya Vijaya to obstruct. It is Krishna who agitated the four Kumaras to curse them. Because Krishna had a desire. And that is also the one more reason. Because Krishna had a desire to have some wrestling, some kind of fight. Krishna had a desire to enact wonderful pastime in the material world. And therefore, the momentary lapse on Jaya Vijaya of obstructing. Now, what Jaya Vijaya should have done, I was just thinking about this, contrary to what they did. Just think about it. You go to a temple and they say you cannot enter. That's not the way any temple, anybody should receive you. Suppose there are two devotees, you go to a temple and they're the Lord's servant. What they should be doing, not like what the Pandas do sometimes in Vrindavan or any other places. That's not the way. What they should be doing. Oh, Hare Krishna, welcome. You have come to serve the Lord. Please welcome. Do you know how to serve? No, I don't know. You know what you should do when you see the Lord? No, I don't know. That's what they should have taken care of the 4 boys. You're going to serve the Lord. Wonderful. You come all the way to see the Lord. Great. Just imagine you are there somewhere on the top of the hill. There is a temple. Your servitors of the Lord there. Some 4 boys came climbing. We should be very congratulating them. Oh, you 4 cute boys come for darshan of the Lord. Wonderful. They really congratulate you to having taken all the effort. But do you boys know what you should do when your darshan is open? They may not know even they have to bow down. You should know to bow down. Do you have some garlands for them? No, go collect some flowers. Have some flowers to offer. The Lord likes tulsi. Have some tulsi with you. Have this, have that. This is the kind of prayer you can offer. It's the time for Aarti. We will be singing these prayers. You can have the copy of the prayers with you. They should be assisting them. They should be encouraging them. That's what the servants of the Lord should do in Vaikuntha. But not obstructing somebody's service to Krishna. Nobody has a right to obstruct somebody's service to Krishna. We only have to facilitate. So somebody was telling me, can I join the temple? I said, what right do I have to stop anybody's service to Krishna? I don't want to become Jaya Vijaya. Stop. But definitely, I would like to see. Come. But I like to see whether how much committed you are to the service. That's fine. But I have no right in objecting to your coming to the temple and taking darshan. But you want to stay full time here, then I have to watch, because you should not behave like apparently as Jaya Vijaya behaved. Offenses, difficulties, correct? You should be ready. So this that has to be the picture. But Jaya Vijaya, because of some secret Krishna's reason, obstructed service of the 4 Kumaras to Krishna. You're not going to go inside. You cannot take darshan. This was very strange. Just imagine, it's just a small verbal abuse, but taken so seriously as a lesson that you cannot screw to it. So what we are. Therefore, actually, it's very important to live with the devotees. Very, very important. And those who have an opportunity should live full time with the devotees. Somebody was asking me, what is the difference between full-time devotees and doing your own business and coming to the temple? There is a difference. One thing is ICU, one thing is outpatient ward. In outpatient ward, when you go to a hospital, you go for treatment, you get a medicine, and then are you following or not? There is nobody watching. Depends on you. You may be following sincerely, even better than somebody in a hospital. Possible. When you will be very nicely cured. Or you may be inpatient ward. The nurses will see to it that you take medicine at the right time. You'll be watched for every activity. It's more beneficial. It's like an ICU. But then, people are locked in different commitment, different responsibility, different things don't work out. But as for the temple is concerned, I unhesitedly say I need around 100, at least 200 good, at least 100 people. I have traveled, see so many temples I see. Temples get built, it's not a very big deal. It's hard work, running around, people help, temples get built. But what is more achievement is to have a thriving temples. You go to the temple, there are 100 brahmacharis, all smiling, bright, and encouraging you for service. You see them dancing in Sankirtana. You see them preaching to the visitors. So many visitors come. You're giving them books. And then temple is having activities, traveling all the nearby towns and villages, holding festivals, holding Sankirtana, distributing prasadam, distributing holy name. That's the temple. Now just imagine with the present strength that we have, 15 devotees, we will be inside the altar on all of us. because there are so many deity services in a big temple. Some people maybe just, and then the whole big halls are empty. That will not be very attractive. So our 18-day course has given us, Krishna's grace, some funds to buy the land and now build the temple. But also it should, if it can lead to a lot of full-time workers, then the temple will be thriving. Then it will be very effective. But as effective, people should understand that we have to have very sober attitude, very gravity, that we live in atmosphere. Temple's atmosphere is like a Vaikuntha atmosphere. And no mistake happens like Jay Vijaya made. That was a very small mistake, but still no. Actually, then person feels so happy. Every moment. Anandammuti Vardhanam. Every moment, the happiness only increases. Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Poon Amra Sadhana. Every step is nectar. But definitely this is immature to expect on the first day. It takes time for purification. When the heart is pure, that's how you feel. This kirtan is so nice, Arti is so beautiful, the chanting is so wonderful. I read the scripture, it was so ecstatic. I had a session with the devotee, it was so wonderful. The things keep so much happiness develops within the system. This is what we need to develop. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. So, and see that the smallest offenses don't happen. That's why we can also understand we are not in the spiritual world now, because we take great pleasure in making fun of somebody. We take great pleasure in criticizing somebody. We take great pleasure in so many activities, giving pain to somebody. And spiritual world, Krishna does not want his devotees to be disturbed. That's why in a city, you put out somebody in the jail. Why do you put somebody in the jail? Because it's disturbing the peaceful atmosphere of the city. So we were in the city, we are in the jail now, and you want to go back to the city. So we need to definitely. And where do we begin the whole thing? Coming back to the basics again, Shavanam. Our process, the spiritual process. Shotiyam Brahmanishtam. All of you want to preach Krishna consciousness. And I think from tomorrow, some of you know we are having 1 week teachers training course. Well, what is the focus on that? So those who are already taking classes, to train them so that they can improve. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. So committed offense again because ignoring me. That's the focus here. So offense to a devotee, Prabhupada says in the purport, let me add, I think, some more minutes, is actually offense at the Lord. Because you're ignoring, because he's very dear to Krishna. Suppose somebody even has a dog and you go and kick his dog, you're actually giving pain to the owner. So ignoring his presence. So Prabhupada says in the spiritual world also, even though you get promoted, there is always a chance because freedom is not taken away. Chance is still there to revolt against the orders of Krishna. Very interestingly, I've quoted many times. Prabhupada says to do anything except pure devotion service to Krishna is a sign of our revolt to Krishna. To do anything except pure devotion service, including so-called charities, so-called humanitarian work, is a sign of our revolt because we are his servant. Your only thing is to continuously do service to him. But doing anything else than his service, what he has given you, or what is supposed to be done by you, you are revolting against his authority. So even doing sense gratification is revolting against the Lord authority. Then how do you expect to serve the Lord when you are a rebel in that way? So the chance of rebellion is there always for us. But you don't do that. And apparently, actually, they didn't do that. Apparently, they do. Even Krishna comes to protect you. They can do sweet dealing. So by offending the devotee, one neglects the Lord himself. Definitely. The devotee is so dear to the Lord. Okay, so by mistake, They wanted to see the Lord, therefore they transferred the service. Okay, but Krishna comes and protects the Jaya and Vijaya by personally appearing. And the four Kumaras, what is their main desire? Their main desire was to see the Lord. That's the four Kumaras. So that is transcendent, that is spiritual. And Krishna said, okay, that's why you got angry. No, that you cannot see me. I'll solve the whole problem first. He came in front of them. And along with Lakshmi, which is also not easy to get darshan. You wanted my darshan, no? Therefore, you are upset that they're not allowing you to take darshan. Here am I, solving the whole problem, coming in front of you. And the four Kumaras, when they saw the Narayana, they were so much stuck with happiness, And actually, they smelled the Tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord, and they saw the beautiful transcendent form of the Lord, accompanied with Lakshmi. Their heart was so satisfied. There are many nice paintings of that. They were looking with total satisfaction, and everything became so wonderful. The Lord is so merciful that even if there is an impediment for a devotee, himself manages things. The Lord, the devotee is not deprived. And Prabhupada now takes an example of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is a Brahma, born as Haridas Thakur, and showing extreme humility because he was born in a Muslim family. Used to never enter Jagannath. And Lord Chaitanya himself used to every day go to meet him. In fact, he requested for accommodation for Haridas Thakur near the temple. And he used to personally go and see. Haridas Thakur was so humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "But you break my heart with your humility." And he was very gentle and humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally gave him darshan. So in that way, he did not get deprived. Just like here, the four Kumaras, they were crying that they're not being allowed to see the Lord. So the Lord came down right at the gate. You can see me now. The problem is over. The Lord himself came to say they can take darshan of the lotus feet and be happy and satisfied. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In a temple, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, in a temple, when you go in the afternoon, the doors are shut and you're not allowed to go in because that is the time when the Lord is meant to be resting. So the pujaris just shut the door. Or at other times when some other work is going on, the pujaris put people at the gate and they say you cannot come. So you do darshan from outside. There is no offense meant there, na, Lord Prabhuji. It's a way of, it's the custom of the temple that there are timings and you have to follow that.
Yeah. See that this is like when you chant Hare Krishna, no, there are no rules. You can chant any time. But when the Pancharatrika Vidhi is created, it is created in a way so that gradually we learn to serve the Lord. So Lord is woken up in the morning, and Lord is served something to eat, we bathe. The Vidhi is created. Vidhi means rules and regulations are created for service to the Lord. So this is the rules and regulations. Definitely it has to be observed. Yes. Yeah, so you're saying there is no offense at the time when Pujari says that temple is closed. Yeah. No, you cannot come. No, not in that way. We are sorry, now the temple is closed. Please come back 4 o'clock. They're welcome. They should be welcome. Not that you cannot come. Yes, Radhika Mataji, you wanted to ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, not a question, but one help, Prabhu. Can you come more classes, Bhagavatam, or tell us when you're taking classes for a long time, not able to take you? I know you're overworked, but...
That's why we went, we were like, bonfire, 10 minutes, we were telling, I was telling. Then Aishwarya, she doesn't speak that good Kannada. But like,
no, Aishwarya is excellent.
She knows how to say.
No, Prabhu. Aishwarya is excellent. She's excellent, but can you also come, Prabhu?
Sometimes. I'll try. Okay, I'll try.
At least weekly twice, please.
Okay, we'll work out something. Will work out. Take care. Then any other question?
That's all.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, if Jai Vijay were not cursed and they would have not taken the demon forms, could not we see the Varaha form, Narsimha form? In the every.
We are very keen. You see, any one of us, always we are hearing. We are hearing. And devotee means he puts a sufficient time to hear about Krishna. A karmi, how do you distinguish a devotee and karmi? See what they are hearing. A karmi is reading newspaper whole day. A devotee is hearing Gita and Bhagavatam. And that is why we say that if somebody is a devotee, it doesn't matter how many years, 100 years, 500 years, 1000 years, 10 years, 1 year, 6 months, how much taste he has developed for hearing shows how advanced devotee he is. There is a shloka for that. Shame Vikebula. Who will tell the shloka? Dharma sanusita pumsa vikshakshena kathasu yaha na utpati dariti shame vikebula. So you are reading, there in the second chapter of the first canto, that you have been practicing dharma sanusita, but you have not developed taste for hearing about the Lord, simply wasting your time. So always remember this fundamental principle. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That will the goal we have. And to achieve that goal, whenever we get time, we should try to hear about Krishna. Okay? And gradually, by mercy of Krishna, by serving Vaishnavas, by serving Srila Prabhupada, we develop taste for that. Just like some people cannot chant 16 now because there is no taste. So you need taste. Just by, no, but tomorrow, not tomorrow, not today. It's not so easy. You need taste. Without taste, how will you do? So we need some mercy of Krishna to be able to fix ourselves from Shavana. Shrotyam Brahmanishtam, constantly hearing. Whenever we get time, whenever we get free, we read something about Krishna. Okay, so we increase that. Hare Krishna Mukherjee ji, nice to see you after a long time. Okay, so everybody is recovered from Vrindavan Yatra. Still hot. I sent 3 teams of devotees to look at your accommodation. What can I do? This Hindi team, they say wonderful. The people also have. From next time, now I have to focus on my temple. I'm not going to at least till my temple construction is cannot distract. 2-3 months of so much time and energy goes away. But at least my desire was there in the heart to show you Mayapur and Vrindavan. And also we will keep 16 round compulsory next time. Because those who are not chanting, they get too much bothered by small inconveniences. Those who are serious in spiritual life, they don't make fuss about these things. They know the intention. Get a chance to go to Vrindavan is great pleasure. But those who are not serious in spiritual life, they make you simply bothered by it. Instead of they remain like a guest. Rather than serving devotee, they want to be like a guest and we have to do things for them. So those kind of people we don't want to take for yatras. We'll focus on devotees, chant 16 rounds. So let everybody grow up. There are many temples who have a strict rule. They don't take anybody who is not chanting 16 because they simply make fuss. As if we have gone to take care of them. That's all we do. Can't even enjoy the yatra. So maybe that we can do so that will be easier, life will be easier. Okay, but now yatra is out of focus. Focus will be the temple now for some time. Okay, Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpataruvacha kripa sindhave evacha